So the season is almost over and the playoff picture is solidifying in some ways. The Chiefs have clinched the number one overall slot in the AFC, and there's a lot going on below them. The Bills right on their heels, but no bye week. Same thing with the Steelers, so most likely they're not going to have much to play for the last game of the season other than pride. And the Titans are still holding on in the AFC South for now. Although I don't know if the Colts can win. I think if the Colts win and the Titans lose, the Colts would win the division. However, the Colts could also be out of the playoffs altogether, which they are right now. With 7 playoff spots available, the Raiders, they're out. Colts are on the outside looking in. The Dolphins, Browns, and Ravens are all in those 3 wildcard spots. And let's talk about the Dolphins first off. At number 5, they have the easiest road. They win, they're in. That's it. Doesn't matter. If they lose, and either the Colts, Ravens, or Brown lose, they are also in, as they hold the tiebreakers over those teams. The Colts, they need to win and they need to get help from one of those other teams losing. The Browns, they have to play the Steelers, who probably will have nothing to play for and will probably be sitting out at least Big Ben. He looks like he could use it at times this season, as well as some of their other starters. But even with that said, after they lost to the Jets, nothing's certain because Mason Rudolph could potentially beat them with how they played. Granted, they most likely will have their receivers back, and that was such a fluke. But not the spot you want to be in after being 10-3 and taking the Ravens down to the wire just 2 weeks ago. The Ravens, they play the Bengals. They're in for sure. Lock them up. They're not going to lose to the Bengals to get into the playoffs. The Titans will probably beat the Texans. So it really comes down to the Dolphins and Browns, both playing division rivals with nothing to gain and who might rest their starters. And the Colts also could lose. I don't necessarily want to write anything in stone because I don't want to jinx the Dolphins, because I really would like to see them make the playoffs, though, as a longtime Dolphins fan. Them potentially losing and not making the playoffs would just be like, yeah, that would just be very Miami Dolphins of them. If I had to say a team that I think isn't going to make it, I would say the Colts, just by virtue of being in the unfortunate position of missing out on tiebreakers. And with 7 playoff spots, I don't think you ever thought that an 11-5 team can miss the playoffs. There are many years when there were only 6 teams that 10-6, 9-7 got you that wild card, and only very rarely, off the top of my head, I can only think of the 2008 Patriots who lost out at 11-5 and missed the playoffs. Yeah, that's really it. And when you compare it to the NFC is just so stacked with talent and consistent teams. It's unfortunate that somebody from the Dolphins, Ravens, Browns, and Colts are going to miss the playoffs, whereas somebody from the NFC East is going to make the playoffs. It's no good. It's no good at all. Let me know your thoughts in the comments to this podcast and this video on who you think is going to make the playoffs from the AFC. Let me know if you think the Dolphins are going to break my heart again. Honestly, wouldn't be surprised. It's a pretty common thing to happen. But I'm gonna keep hope alive. And next week, if they miss the playoffs, I'm gonna probably be quite sad on this, and we'll see what happens. Hey, thanks for watching this video. If you want to watch the full episode, it will be out at the end of the week or on podcast services. Link in the description down below. And if you liked this, maybe subscribe. We're a new channel. We could definitely use it. And if you're into nerdy news or gaming, why don't you check out our main channel, Wicked Good Everything. We'll see you all in the next one.